everyone, how we doing today? This is James Sweeney, aka SplitSuit, and welcome back to another video. And as part of the Ask SplitSuit a Question series, a bunch of people asked hand history questions. This one actually came privately via Facebook. And Daniel prefaces the hand by saying, "Hey SplitSuit, I really enjoy your videos as they've helped me improve as a cash game player. I have a question about a 200 no limit hand I played with kings at a local casino. I played for around an hour at this table and categorized all these players as loose and fishy since they had been involved with almost every hand and hadn't shown much aggression post-flop. Okay, so in this hand we have kings in the big blind, it folds around, there's a limp, another limp, a limp, and here it decides to raise to 17. So first and foremost, I love the fact that we're raising, and I love the fact that we're choosing a very large size. In some games I could even go up to 20 or 25 here, but those are very, very specific 1-2 games where I can go that large totally for value, and I do expect at minimum one caller, but 17 is going to be a very, very good size here. A lot of players will raise this to something like 10 or 11, and that's just not big enough, partially because you're giving them great prices, and you're going to put yourself in a really, really bad spot post, but also because you're just leaving value on the table. The bigger you go here, the bigger you can go post-flop, easier it is to get stacks inside post-flop totally for value. So larger here is almost always going to be much, much better, especially in these 1-2 live games with lots of loose, passive, fishy opponents. Definitely going to want to do that. So in this situation, we had a call, get another call, and finally get a fold. So we end up going 4-way to it, and at this point I just want to pause for a moment and look at the SPR. So you notice at this point against the cutoff we have roughly a 2 SPR, against the button in MP2 we have roughly a 2.5 SPR. So any SPR lower than 3 when I have an overpair or better as a pure default, I'm going to be taking overpairs and top pairs to the felt. Kings here obviously is a perfectly fine overpair, and I'm going to keep my stack off mentality. And what that means isn't that I'm going to open shove this. It just means that if push comes to shove, I'm going to be getting my stack inside one way or the other, and I'm usually going to be looking for ways to get my stack inside very quickly. And I love the fact that here is also keeping that mindset by betting here for $50. Nice, good size. I think this is perfect. And this is one of those things where I would just use Zebo theorem to my advantage. Now, Zebo theorem is a theorem that nobody can fold a full house ever. And in a lot of live fishy 1-2 games especially, that's definitely going to be the case. And I love the fact that we're betting, stick people in, and start growing that pot as quickly as possible. And again, given the SPR, I was kind of going to be in that stack off however I can mentality anyway. So in this situation, we end up just getting one caller, go to the turn, and at this point here decides to jam it. Totally on board with that. I'm not going to be taking any passive line. I don't want to risk him checking behind, then an ace comes and all of a sudden he's scared to stack off something like pocket fours. If he has something that he wants to stack off, let's get it in now. Now, some players may consider checking here, and I think checking here is going to be really bad, simply because if you look at the line that the button has taken so far, he limped behind limpers preflop, that's passive. Called a preflop raise, that's passive. He called the flop c-bet, that's passive. We've seen zero aggression from this individual, and really have no reason to think that he's going to become aggressive at this point in the hand. So because of that, if I were in this situation, I would always be betting my kings here, totally for value. And I do acknowledge that occasionally he is going to have a 10. And in this exact situation, he does end up having a 10. And that just simply sucks to be us. And when Daniel says, was there any way I could have played this better? The answer is really no. You played the hand just fine, pre-flop looked great, flop looked great. It's just kind of a situation where he put himself into a smaller SPR, he happened to smash it on like the best flop ever, and it just sucks to be you. There's really nothing you can do in a situation like this. So it's just a straight up cooler, and it's important that when you're playing in real time or when you're analyzing hands off the table that you're able to quickly and correctly identify coolers and understand if you misplayed them or if you just simply ran like crap. And in poker, sometimes you're just going to run like garbage and it's going to suck, but there's nothing you could do about it. The hand looked good, the line looked good. Ultimately, I'm happy with the way this all played out. So Daniel, thanks for the great hand, and if you or anyone else has a poker-related hand or question, feel free to leave it on our Google Plus page. Leave a link for that in the description box, and also please make sure to like and subscribe if you're enjoying this type of video. If you have any questions, please don't hesitate to let me know. Otherwise, good luck out there, and happy grinding.